Chairman, and I want to join in the praise and thankfulness for you taking chairmanship of this most important subcommittee. This is my third term in Congress, my second term on this most important subcommittee, and I appreciate serving with you in your chairmanship, sir. Madam Secretary, good morning.
Good morning.
I want to thank you as well for stepping up. This is an arduous task that you have to chair HHS, and I also want to thank you for your phone call yesterday and for your civility. And we all have a difficult role in governing this great nation, and I want to thank you for being here today. I'm going to ask some questions about Obamacare and then RAC audits, but in candidness, I believe Obamacare is inherently flawed. I thought it was flawed from the beginning. I was not in Congress when it was passed. It's had a lot of frailties, and I come to the debate after having seen this now in my third term in Congress, just so frustrated with this issue. So I want to let you know that on the onset as I ask you these questions. And I know you've inherited this role, and I thank you for stepping up and taking that. Last March, your predecessor was before us in this committee, and I asked her questions. And she testified before this panel that the administration would not delay the individual mandate or any of its penalties. Yet less than 2 weeks later, the enrollment deadline was extended. Last week, HHS announced that it had sent 800,000 people incorrect tax forms. We learned yesterday that's led to approximately 50,000 inaccurate tax returns filed by Americans on which the Treasury Department has announced it will not act. Separately, HHS announced that you would open a special enrollment period in order for people to avoid paying penalties for missing all the previous deadlines. Madam Secretary, my first question, and it's a two-part question, is what authority does the administration have to set its own policy each time Obamacare is implemented incorrectly? And as a follow-up to that, I would specifically like to know what authority you believe your department has to declare a new enrollment period and set arbitrary deadlines.
With regard to the issue of, I'll address the most recent special enrollment period. Special enrollment periods occur for people when they have life-changing events and they are able to enter in the system. You know, it is based, we have a marketplace-based system, and the marketplace is based on private insurance. And so insurers actually have periods when you have a life change, when something happens that is unique, that you can come in not during their set period. And so that's, with regard to the issue of special enrollment periods, that's what we've done. With the one that you're referring to specifically, for those individuals who did not recognize that there would be a fee, that they did not understand, that they did not, this first time through, what we have said is for those individuals that there will be a special enrollment period for that limited group of people. And that's what this particular one that you just referenced that we just did is about.
Okay, thank you. Madam Secretary, I'd like to ask you some questions about your plans regarding recovery audit contractors, the RAC audits.
Yes.
These have wreaked havoc on Medicare reimbursement processes. I understand you're considering establishing a fee for claims appeals to raise revenue and discourage appeals in light of the huge backlog which remains. I cannot see that as anything more than encouraging my constituents to succumb to a broken RAC system. What plans do you have to address the underlying problem of the number of audits resulting in the denial of claims that should have actually been paid?
So with regard to this issue, when I came in, it is an issue and there is a large backlog. So put together an approach to working through that backlog as quickly as possible, and are very appreciative that there is bipartisan, bicameral engagement in the issue with us, because I think it's going to take us working together to get through. Three things we need to do to get those numbers down. The first thing that we need to do is where there are administrative things that we can do at CMS in terms of making that go more quickly, or where appropriate, settling through with providers, that we do that. The second thing is we have asked for the funding to help us get more specialists. This happens through the Office of Medicaid, Medicare appeals and hearings and appeals. And so this is a body that is part of HHS, but there are specialized appeal judges that have to hear these. And so we need the help to work through the backlog. That's item 2 in terms of getting rid of this backlog. Number 3 is we actually are asking for legislative changes from you all to try and make sure that we discourage. A couple things about the fee. 1, never on a beneficiary. Number 2, if you win your appeal, the fee comes back. Because what we're seeing is in this appeal process, because it's easy and it's simple, part of the reason we've had it skyrocket is there's not a cost. If I think I might possibly be able to get the money, I'm going to appeal because there's the time issue, but what do I, in terms of that? And so that's why we believe it is something that could help us with the overall issue.
Thank you very much, Madam Chairman, and I yield back.